talk about drones. But yeah, don't forget Super Chat if you want to. You can find the Super Chat down beside the comments. You can choose to Super Chat. Great way to support the channel. Again, independent YouTube channel. Don't have those marketing budgets like the larger channels have, but it's your support that enables this channel to continue to grow. So DJI Air 2S. A lot of people may call it the DJI Mavic Air 2S. It's funny, DJI's kind of renamed or reimagined their naming convention. So, that started, you have the DJI Mini 2. Now you've got the DJI Air 2S. As soon as it released, if you're shopping for another drone, just head on over to epicdroneshow.com and you can find Air 2S and all the other drones and accessories there too. But I was optimistic that I would have my Air 2S today, but because of the the shipping challenges, there's a lot of shipping challenges because of all the all this stuff that's going on. So but I hope to have it. I'm cautiously optimistic that I'll have it Monday. I'm super disappointed I didn't get it today. Again, that was just because of the shipper. I'm not the shipper, but the shipping company. I'm not going to drop names. You can probably guess who it is. There's only a few shipping companies, but yeah, I think they're probably all overwhelmed, and I don't know, who knows. But yeah, so the Air 2S, I'm so glad I ordered it. And again, I passed up on the DJI FPV so simply because I couldn't find a way to fly the DJI FPV permissibly. There's a lot of regulations now, and I just couldn't find a way to fly the DJI FPV with while wearing goggles. So that's not a problem with the DJI Air 2S, because I'm just going to use my iPhone and the really nice controller that comes with the Air 2S. So no concerns there, and that's going to be a great experience. In the past with the Mavic 2 Pro, I used the DJI Smart Controller, and that was good. But honestly, I just like the regular controller. Bring my own iPhone, whatever. I mean, right now I'm using iPhone 12 Pro, but if I upgrade to another iPhone, I can just use that iPhone with the DJI Air 2S's controller. So I kind of like that. I'm kind of in control of the device, and I don't have to buy another smart controller. But with that said, I found the smart controller to be a good experience. It was fun flying drones with the smart controller, but I like to keep it simple and use my iPhone. And that's the good thing. The Air 2S, its controller has the the phone mount on the top. Radically improved design. In the past, you had the Mavic controllers that that folded out at the bottom, and that was always kind of wonky. Especially if you were using a phone in a case, because it often made the phone too fat to fit in those handles. And the new design that they're using with the in the Air 2S's controller is radically superior. So I can keep my phone in the case, because there were times a long time ago when when they had the below controller mount for your phone, that I'd either use a super slim case for my iPhone, which didn't really provide protection when I was using it day to day, or if I was using a more protective case for my iPhone, I would take the phone out of the case and then put it in the little fold out pieces on the bottom of the Mavic controller, and it would scratch up the phone. But there were even times where I'd have it out of the case and then I would accidentally drop it I would drop the phone, and at that point, it didn't have any protection because I had taken it out of the iPhone case to to be able to fit it in the older model Mavic controllers. So gone are those controllers. Now with DJI Air 2S, which they've dropped the word Mavic, but the DJI Air 2S, you don't have those less superiorly designed controllers. Now you've got a really nice controller that you just put your iPhone, or if you're an Android user, put it on the top and fly your drone like a boss. So it's just a great design. That's one of the things I like about DJI. They're they've always been a design company, and to rehash it, and many people have said this, a lot of people consider DJI to be the Apple of drones, just because they put so much thought into design. They put a lot of thought into their packaging, and ultimately the overall experience. I mean, everything's very refined within the app. The controller feels nice. Obviously, the flight dynamics of the drones are exceptional. And, this DJI Air 2S, man, I mean, it's going to take it to the next level, because now you've got a 1-inch sensor in the camera. And, previously that 1-inch sensor was reserved for the, they had a Phantom, it was Phantom 4 Pro that had a 1-inch sensor. And then they had the Mavic 2 Pro with 1-inch sensor, but this will be the first Air Series DJI drone to have a camera with a 1-inch sensor. So, that is super cool. And I just want to ask all of y'all, everybody that's tuning in, what excites you about the DJI Air 2S? And is there anything that's disappointed you? I'm not a DJI fanboy. I like DJIs, but is there anything that you would like to share? I mean, this channel is not all positive. I mean, speak the truth. Is there something that concerns you? Is there something you really like? Hey, maybe it's a combination of both. Chat. Tell the world what you think. I mean, that's why I'm here, man. I mean, flying the drones is fun, but really diving deeply into the drones and, just kind of figuring everything out about them is what makes it really, really a rewarding experience. So, yeah, it's, man, I wish I had the Air 2S in my hands right now, man. I just got empty hands. It's boring, man. I gotta, it's the company the delivery company. Jim, welcome back, Jim. Always good to have you from Scotland. Speaking of Scotland, man, y'all got some wicked good Scotch whiskey over there. The Macallan. I love that stuff, man. That's some really, really solid, that's a solid whiskey for sure. So, man, I can't imagine flying a drone in Scotland. That must be, you got all those grassy areas and you got castles, and that'd be really cool, man. Well, they say that the grass is always greener. I guess if, since you're from Scotland, it's probably like you see it every day. And, other people, other parts of the world, they see it every day. But, you always want what's different. So, for that reason, drinking some Jack Daniels now. What's funny? You always want what's different. Here in Georgia in the United States, Jack Daniels, cool story. Jack Daniels is distilled in a place called Lynchburg, Tennessee. And, Lynchburg, Tennessee is what they call a dry county. So the Jack Daniels distillery got special permissions to be able to do to let people cure their their distillery and taste test and all of that. So it's it's a pretty cool story. Now, a lot of people, it's funny, you're from Scotland, so that's an imported beverage for you. And here it's just kind of, in the United States, it's just kind of common. A lot of people like it. It's high quality. But it's like here people like the Scotch because it's imported, and like over there you like the Jack Daniels because it's imported for you. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's this DJI. So have you gotten the DJI Air 2S yet, or are you thinking about it, or kind of on the fence? What's everybody's stance when it comes to the Air 2S? Is it a major upgrade for you? If so, why? If not, why? Or is there something that just really irritates you about the Air 2S? I mean, that's the beauty of these live shows, man. I mean, we can talk, we can say whatever we want to about the drones. Doesn't matter. I mean, I have no sense of loyalty whatsoever to any brand. Well, the only brand I have loyalty to is Irix Guys Adventure Channel. Jim says, happy with the Air 2 just now. Can't keep up with the new releases. I hear you, man. I mean, the Air 2 is without a doubt one of my favorite drones, just because you get excellent autofocus, and it's just reliable, and it's small and lightweight enough to easily travel with, or not necessarily travel, but just pack up and go. And it gets good battery life, good range. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, most people can't just get every drone. I mean, I don't get every drone. I mean, I'm the host of Irix Guys Adventure Channel and the founder and host of Epic Drone Show. And there's a lot of drones I didn't get, but I did get the DJI Air 2S, and if I didn't run this channel and I wasn't obsessed with sharing the latest drone tech with everyone, I'm like you, man. I could be perfectly content with the DJI Mavic Air 2. Actually, again, I prefer it over the Mavic 2 Pro in a lot of scenarios, just because it has outstanding and reliable autofocus. And that's something that, unfortunately, even with the latest firmware, the Mavic 2 Pro suffers when it comes to autofocus reliability. And obviously, like, you check out my older videos where I kicked the Mavic 2 Pro into full manual, you can achieve outstanding results, but it's just another manual step that you have to perform for each flight. And that's why I like drones with reliable autofocus, is just because you can turn it on, you can hit record, and you can feel very confident, at least I can, that I'm going to capture well-focused and high-quality gimbal stabilized video. And that's something that with the Mavic 2 Pro, it's failed me, just for a few seconds here and a few seconds there, but all the seconds add up, and they're part of the content capture. And again, I'm still irritated that one shot where I swam to a deserted island from a boat in the Caribbean, and those first few seconds of it taking off, the Mavic 2 Pro taking off from the beach on this deserted island, it would have been such an awesome shot, but the first few seconds were out of focus because the Mavic 2 Pro's autofocus system is not as good as the autofocus in the other drones. So yeah, right now, best autofocus. Again, I haven't received the Air 2S yet. Jim says, let's see. Jim says, I think the Air 2S will be a huge success, so I look forward to watching your field test. I think it will be too, and I've got a high degree of confidence that DJI's released something awesome. But that's what I'm excited about, man. Taking it out in the field and just seeing, okay, here's Mavic Air 2S, 1-inch sensor. How good does the autofocus, how well does the autofocus perform? How saturated is the video that it captures? How sharp is the video? How well does Air 2S handle lower light situations? It's going to be. I'm excited, man. I mean, I think honestly, and again, I'll make this prediction now, without having my Air 2S in my hands yet. But I'll go as far as to say that I have a feeling that Air 2S will become my number one professional drone option. And I say that because professional implies I want to get the best video possible, and having that 1-inch sensor is an advantage. I will go as far as to say that currently my favorite casual use drone, just because it's small, it's lightweight, and I get the ability to recharge it by way of USB, is the DJI Mini 2. Now, what I'd really like to see, if DJI can somehow release a DJI Mini 2, let's call it DJI Mini 2 Pro, if they can release that has the same ultra lightweight, the same USB recharge capability, but has a 1-inch sensor camera, I think DJI will then create the kill-all of all drones. Because you got something that's ultra lightweight, something that's able to be recharged by way of USB, that opens up your portability options tremendously. That's one disadvantage that Air 2S has to the DJI Mini 2 is that, well, Air 2S, you got to recharge with a wall charger or a car charger. You can't plug it into USB and recharge that way. So I'd really like to see a USB rechargeable DJI Mini Pro. I think that would be exceptional. Mini 2 Pro would be amazing. Do you think Phantom line is finished for good? Jim, that's a great question. And from a marketing perspective, I don't think the Phantom line will ever be finished because, inevitably, DJI Phantom is what, I'll just insert a number here and it's probably accurate, 95% of people in the world think of when they think of a drone. Or, if they don't even know drones, they're like, oh, that's that Phantom thing, isn't it? So DJI, just like, brands that have become household names. I mean, you got, there's so many. I don't want to just name drop, but I think Phantom. That's a great question. I don't think Phantom's ever going to go away. I think Phantom, it may take a brief vacation, and it has. But you've noticed probably, and this isn't just drone companies, but companies in general, there's been a trend recently, and I say recently, the past few years, you've seen soda companies, they brought back the old cans. You've seen beer companies, they brought back the old cans. They brought back old flavors. There's all kinds of, retro has been, a popular marketing thing. So, just from a where we came from type perspective, I don't think DJI will ever let go of the Phantom. I think we'll probably, maybe go a few years before we see the next Phantom. And you know what? Maybe they take, one thing they could do, because, now it's interesting that DJI is totally, so they went from Phantom to Mavic. And now what's funny, they've eliminated the word Mavic from their portfolio. I had a brief degraded service area. So from that perspective, I think DJI is really trying to eliminate the model name. They're saying, okay, our brand is DJI, a brand a brand you probably trust. And they're saying, okay, this is Mini, this is Air, and this is Pro. And that seems to be the direction they're going to go. And I it's if they reintroduce the Phantom, would it be like a throwback Phantom? It's like the Phantom that they've reimagined, and it's a foldable Phantom, and it has all these cool features that the other Phantom never had. Phantom was always cool, but think about it. If they did bring it back, it would have to be to be sellable for more than nostalgic reasons. It would have to be radically improved. I mean, remember, one of the pitfalls of the Phantom was that cage on the bottom. When you're landing in stuff like this, rocky stuff with grass, especially if you're on a boat that's rocking, it was easy to topple over. The Phantom was top heavy, and that resulted in a lot of broken props. Now, in my case, when I flew the Phantoms, look back at my old videos, I used prop guards. Part of the reason I always flew the Phantom with prop guards was, number one, I wanted to exude drone safety non-verbally. But the main reason I used prop guards for the Phantom drones was I didn't want to break props, man. I'm cheap. I don't want to have to rebuy stuff. I want to take care of it. And by using the prop guards, I was able to better prevent props from breaking should the Phantom topple over during landing. I landed on my boat a lot, and it was rocking. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they're done with the Phantom. They're come back with something creative, a creative way to reimagine the Phantom. A foldable Phantom. I think foldable Phantom is key. I think a Phantom that has retractable, to still give it the Phantom flair, to look at it and say, okay, that's a DJI Phantom. It would need to be, white color. It would need to have the cage down below, the cage underneath the Phantom, except the new DJI Phantom would have, Jake, welcome aboard, sir. Do you have Maya, McKenna, and Katie? It would need to have landing gear that prior to landing, it would be telescoping landing gear. So when you saw it on the ground after landing, one would look at it and say, okay, that looks like a DJI Phantom. But as soon as it took off, the landing gear, the telescoping 4 legs, and no Katie. So yeah, the telescoping 4 legs would retract after it took off. So while the Phantom, the new DJI Phantom is flying, it would, it would look different during flight because the landing gear would be, up in it because it's telescoping. And then also the other thing that the new and reimagined DJI Phantom would feature would be foldable design. We've become spoiled with the Mavic series, which now is, the name Mavic is no more, but that design of drone. The new DJI Phantom would have to fold, it would have to fold up, and it would have to be small and lightweight to travel with. And, that's something that I don't think, I don't know. I mean, it's doable, and I think that's, I think that's definitely the direction that DJI is heading, with the Phantom. It's going to be a completely reimagined drone. So it's it's going to be interesting to see what and when DJI releases it. Jake says Katie will be with us next studio stream. She's working late tonight. She's a security guard for Ontario Power. Ontario Power, that sounds cool. Keep the lights on, man. Yeah, so great question about the Phantom. I don't know. Do y'all think we'll see? Do y'all think we'll see another Phantom? Yeah, watch out for that train, man. No joke. Trains are no joke. It's a freight train, man. It's got like 2 engines and a. They did away with the cabooses. Remember those? Used to have caboose on pretty much every train. They don't really use those anymore. I don't know why. I mean, that would probably be. I mean, I don't know much about it, but I would think riding around in the caboose would be a lazy job. Jim drives trains in Scotland. Very cool. So when you're driving a train in Scotland, can you drink Scotch whiskey? Or is that disallowed? I think that'd be pretty cool, man. Just get over there, crack open the Macallan or something, and get on a train. That'd be cool. So yeah, we've he said nah. Yeah, that would be too much fun, man. Let's see, I'm checking something. Whoa. Jake says, I live near an active Canadian National Rail line via Rail Canada. His freight, his passenger. Oh, man. So how are the trains in Canada different than the trains in the United States of America? What makes a Canadian train different from a United States train? Or are they pretty much the same? Do they have different? And what makes a Scottish train different from a Canadian or American train? Here in Canada, only work trains have brake vans or cabooses on them. That makes sense. Have y'all seen those trucks that have they've got regular truck tires, but then beside the tires they've got the like the metal wheels, and they get on a train track. Jake says, look at my vids if you want to see the differences. Jake, I'll definitely check those out after I do the rail trucks. Yeah, rail trucks. Those are cool, man. Those are very cool. Yes, they are. So, you think we'll have? There's been a lot of talk about, like, let's just call it a drone mothership or a drone warehouse. Just think about a hovering distribution center. Can you imagine that? If you had like a huge warehouse full of goods, and then you had all these drones that delivered from the warehouse in the sky to you. And then when the warehouse started to get low, it would be replenished by bigger drones. So it'd be like delivery drones, and then it would be like the warehouse, what we think of as like 18-wheelers now, except instead of 18-wheelers, they would be quadcopters that would just haul a bunch of stuff. And then those quadcopters could go to the shipyards and pick up the large quantities of goods and just directly deliver them to the flying distribution center. I mean, that'd be awesome, man. And you'd look up in the sky and you'd see like all of these things hovering around and be like, man, I want to order that new waffle maker. And you order it, and you see that drone descend from the big warehouse drone. Jake says, my train vids, let's see. My train vids 8 Rail Canada and Canadian Pacific Rail. Cool, man. Trains are fun. Yes, they are. Super fun stuff, man. Fatso out here trying to lose some weight, man. Walking and getting, I'm going to start. Jake says the 2 largest freight trains in Kingston are Canadian number 141 and 140. I'll have to Google that. 141 and 140. I wonder what the significance of those numbers are. That's interesting. 140 and 141. Amazon's dream, but can't see it ever working in the UK. Yeah. Yep. That's funny, Jim. That's exactly when I was envisioning and all that. Yeah, it was Amazon. I could just see the Amazon up above me delivering toilet paper, and I get all my toilet paper from Amazon. Oh, and if 140 and 141 are 300 cars long. Wow. That's got to be a long wait, man. If you're stuck behind that, that'd be a mess. You're like, man, hurry up. And then they have another train. They got to close down the track so the other train can go through, which is just crazy. Yeah, trains are cool, man. They can be annoying when you got to get somewhere. I'm going out to fly my drone and I got to wait on trains, man. That's not fun. But getting on a train and going on a booze cruise would be pretty cool. You know, just get on one and go from like one place to another. There's train tracks that go into New Orleans, you know, in Louisiana. You go down there, just load you up a cooler, get on a train, just drink, go down there, eat some seafood, party it up, and go back on the train. Always a good idea. I've never done it, but it's on the to-do list. It'd be pretty exciting. Yeah, man, this Air 2S, yes to Air 2S is all I got to say. And I am so disappointed that the, let's see, Jake says, I've got a shot of them meeting here in Kingston, one going east to Montreal and the other going west to Toronto. Very, very cool. Train meetup. That is pretty cool. Hello. Am I too late, Philippe? You're never too late, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. So, yes, he bought the Air 2S. Oh, and just a reminder for everyone, if you're shopping for the Air 2S and or accessories or other drones, head on over to epicdroneshow.com and you can find Air 2S and all the other drones there. Just click buy drone. You can find it all there. So, yep. Well, that's exciting. So, have you flown the Air 2S yet? Do you like it, or are there things you don't like? Oh, going to Turks and Caicos. You staying in Grace Bay, man, in Providenciales. Turks and Caicos, man, great food there. I'm jealous. Hopefully all the restaurants are open, man. I don't know how they're handling all that. Let's see, Jake says, in Canada 140s head in, there's a CSX rail engine and 140NS middle BC rail engine in the old green color, and they used to have. Ooh, that old green train, man. Yes. Green. Green's a popular color, man. You've got green trains. You got green. Let's see, who uses... Oh, you know who uses green a lot is Rolex. Rolex is green's... Green is Rolex's color. Let's see. Philippe says, not yet. Delivery on Monday. So, yeah, Philippe, I've got mine. My Air 2S is ordered from epicdroneshow.com. And it's shipped. But because of, delivery delays, not the shipper, but delivery delays, I didn't receive it yet. And I was cautiously optimistic that my Air 2S was going to arrive today, and it didn't. So I'm disappointed, and it's just. But I know the all the shipping companies are still overwhelmed, and it's I want the drone, number one, because I'm excited to review it. But number two, well, actually number one, I'm excited to review it so y'all can see what it does. And then, number two, just have something cool to... Philippe, I think so. I honestly, everything that I purchase and review is something I'm personally interested in. and I wouldn't have purchased it otherwise. I think we probably made a good decision, but again, until we get it out in the field and see what the DJI Air 2S can do, it's hard to say, but I have a feeling it's going to be the best drone yet. And speaking of that, so Philippe got the combo. Jim, I didn't. I just got the basic Air 2S bundle, and everyone out there is watching. You can find the Air 2S combo as well as just the basic Air 2S kit. Head on over to epicdroneshow.com and click buy a drone, and you can find all the various bundles and the accessories there. But yeah, I just went with that. I want to see how well or how poorly it performs. I'm very bullish. I think Air 2S is going to be very exciting. Let's see. Heads up, you want to check out Canadian 140 and 141 headed east, goes through, it's horn under law as it changes towards nearby crossings. And not promoting here anyone interested in subs, I never say no. Hey, everybody that's watching, you need to check out Jake's channel on YouTube. Jake's in the chat right now. Subscribe to his channel, like his videos, and let's help this dude's channel grow. Philippe, 3 minutes less flying time than the Mavic 2 Air. Also, some people complain about the propellers on the screen sometimes. Well, Philippe, that's exciting, man. That's something for us to field test and see for ourselves. And that's one thing. I never take anything that's said, to be factual, because inevitably there's a lot of people that have received pre-release Air 2S's, and that's not a fair representation. So, when I receive mine and when you receive yours, ones that were ordered, the production models, not any sort of pre-release stuff, that's going to be the telltale. I find it terribly hard to believe that DJI at this point in the game, given their many years in the business, their multiple models that they've further and further refined, that props would be visible. So, we'll see. That's a possibility. Maybe their engineers were drunk and they made a mistake. Who knows? Anything is a realistic possibility. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be a great drone. I have no worries about the DJI Air 2S. But again, until it's in my hands in the field and y'all are saying what you think, we'll see what happens. It's not fair to speculate. Let's see. We also have to wait for a few updates. Also, the smart controller is compatible. Yeah. Yep, it is. Now, are you going to do the smart controller, or are you just going to use your iPhone? And let's see. Jim says, would you still recommend the Mini 2, as I'm thinking of getting one? I already have the Air 2. Jim, I definitely would. Actually, Mini 2 is my favorite drone for portability, and it still does 4K. And the USB recharge capability is incredible. Opens up a lot of opportunities. Also, it's so small and so lightweight that you might find that you'll have the Mini 2 with you when you may not have your larger drones. So I would definitely, strongly encourage purchasing the Mini 2. It's an awesome drone. I think Philippe will use his iPad Mini. Just wish they would come up with a new smart controller. The iPad Mini would be cool to control it with. Not too big either. Then that's nice. I'm going to use my iPhone 12 Pro. I've got the small iPhone 12 Pro. I don't have the bigger one. So, yeah, Jim, I definitely would, man. And, hey, you know where to go if you buy one, epicdroneshow.com, and click buy a drone. And that's not why I said I would recommend it. I mean, obviously, I would love everyone to, to purchase your drones through epicdroneshow.com. But if you don't, that's cool. But if you do, it's even cooler. So I think the ultimate, for me, if Mavic, or not Mavic, see, I keep wanting to say Mavic, if the DJI Air 2S is as good as I think it's going to be, the perfect combo for me at that point will be the DJI Mini 2, and then the Air 2S. And the reason I say that is that with the DJI Mini 2, I've got ultra portability. I've still got 4K video, but I've got something that can be recharged in the field with USB. With the Air 2S, I don't have USB recharge capability, but I've got a 1-inch sensor camera. So I'm getting higher quality video, for professional shoots. So, that's I think for me, if the Air 2S does what it's supposed to do, I think that'll be the perfect, 2-drone combo. There's no need to have a more expensive, too big, too heavy Inspire. Inspire is just too big, it's too heavy. In my opinion, it's obsolete. So, if you want professional quality, I think, a 1-inch sensor drone, in this case, the Air 2S, I think that's perfect. It's more than most anyone would need. And then, for portability, DJI Mini 2. Again, still getting 4K, but you're getting USB recharge, smaller and lighter. Let's see. We've got, Jake says, hey, Irish guy, I don't think I've asked, but are there any new drones coming out that you would recommend me getting when it comes out? Yeah, man. See how, right now, without having Air 2S in my paws, I think it's going to be one that I'll recommend, but I can't recommend it until I've field tested it and y'all see the videos. But right now, I would recommend strongly Mini 2, DJI Mini 2, or Mavic Air 2 if you want something with good autofocus, or the Mavic 2 Pro if you want, a solid 1-inch sensor drone without as good of autofocus. Lita, welcome back, Lita. Good to have you. Lita is back. Aloha. So yeah, good stuff. So it's Air 2S, man, is gonna be great. Ooh, I got a text message. I'm special. Let me see what I got. Yeah, I got a text message. Getting all fancy with my text messages. So yeah, but see, that's the beauty of wearing an Apple Watch. See, I got my text messages, but I've got y'all on the live show, and I'm able to interact. Now we're gonna do a studio show, and I may do a studio show tomorrow. But one thing's certain: as soon as the what's it called? The Air 2S arrives, there's going to be an epic drone show live from the Irish Guys Adventure Channel studio. Jim says, how many miles do you walk? Well, when I'm backpacking, I do about 9 or 10 each direction. But when I'm just walking around abandoned parking lots, this show, for example, I've walked 2.37 miles, 290 calories estimated, 48 minutes. So, decent amount of activity. Well, see, that's the thing, Philippe. I don't think we should ever wait, because there's always going to be a newer drone. If you wait, you're always going to be waiting for something greater and better. I say buy. if you got the financial means, buy it, try it, have fun with it. Mavic 3, I mean, like any other drone, man, as long as it's solid and, you know, as long as my viewers support my channel, you know, shopping my epicdroneshow.com when they buy drones and accessories and super chatting the channel like I know you do. I think, you know, those are the enablers that enable this channel to purchase those drones. Now, you know, part of my goal beyond having fun is educating. So when you watch the drone videos, you know, you may be on the fence. Should I buy that new drone? Or you don't have a drone. Should I buy, you know, which drone should I buy? Hopefully you can watch my videos and maybe the video itself will be a cut and dry answer. Or maybe it prompts questions. You know, you ask those questions and I answer those questions in the form of a video response. And then you can become a better educated drone buyer. And then concurrently, I become a better educated drone enthusiast. So, you know, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. You know, y'all are asking the questions. You know, y'all are prompting me to go out and film these videos. And that's, I mean, that's huge. It's huge, man. I mean, without y'all, the viewers, I mean, this would not be a doable adventure. And let's see, we got some more comments in here. Jake says, yesterday I was on call with fire department, responded to the first ATV accident of the year, a rollover and a bad one too. Ouch. Hope they're okay, man. Philippe says, $1,300 is enough for me budget-wise. I reached my max. Yeah, it's these drones, man, they get expensive. And the problem is that since DJI does not have any, you know, real competition, they've got wannabe competitors, but they never compete. So DJI, in a weird way, even though there are some wannabe competitors, DJI is kind of they control the prices. You know, whatever consumers are willing to spend, they can charge. And, you know, for that reason, and especially the rebranding that DJI has done, you know, now it's just Mini, it's Air, and then it'll be Pro. You know, my fear is that, you know, when this, and they probably won't call it Mavic, they'll probably just call it Pro 3. And I have a feeling the Pro 3 is probably going to be priced through the stratosphere. Let's see, Jim, been watching your channel for a few years and I always enjoy your field tests and honesty. Jim, I appreciate that. And dude, I remember you from several years ago. Philippe says, should I get the DJI Care or Allstate's insurance? I don't know, man. I mean, that's a choice I can't even. Yeah, it's not a recommendation, but I'll tell you my thoughts. Anytime I buy something, I expect it to break. When I buy a TV, when I buy a laptop, when I buy a phone, I expect it to wear out. Now, with that said, I treat everything very carefully. You know, I feel that I take very good care of my stuff to the point to where, you know, if I trade in a phone, for example, it looks somewhat as good as new because I baby it. That's what I always do. And for me, I've never thought about insurance and stuff because it's just, for me, it's like a wasteful spend. You know, my thoughts are, if I insured everything that I owned, that's an added monthly expense. And if it's just a few dollars here and there, you've got multiple items, it adds up. So my thoughts are, when I buy tech, you know, cameras and all of that, yeah, there's going to be some that are going to break. You know, there's going to be unforeseen accidents. Jumping off a boat with a dry bag that has a hole in it that I didn't know. And that's happened. But out of paranoia, I double dry bagged all of my expensive equipment. So in that situation, all that I lost is like a $15 USB battery bank. So that was a small loss. But had I been insuring all of my equipment, cameras, lenses, drones, phones, TVs, whatever, the monthly cost of all that would likely quickly exceed the replacement cost of one of those electronic items. So, my thoughts are, let's say worst case scenario, I lose a $1,300 drone. That's horrible. But if I had insured that drone and all the other items that I own, how long would it have taken me to get to that $1,300 mark? So, from that perspective, yeah, it's rough, big, huge financial loss. At least for me, $1,300 would be a significant financial loss. But in the scheme of things, did I make the right decision? In my mind, I would have, because I wasn't paying a monthly fee for insurance for multiple items. But again, that's completely up to the person. And, I don't offer guidance in that arena at all. But, that's how I handle it. And that's how I've always been. And I'm not saying I'm right, but that's the way that I visualize it. And, and I know people that buy a sofa or another piece of furniture, and they never take the plastic wrap off, but they don't insure it. I mean, I buy things to be enjoyed, and I don't, I take reasonably good care. I feel that I actually beyond reasonably good care of my stuff, because that's money I earned. That's money I spent. And, I want to take good care of everything, because I want it to remain in the best shape possible. Yeah, it's, Philippe, let's see, we got, Jake said the ATV with lights that weren't working caused the accident. Ouch. And Philippe says, I think with all the securities on the drone itself, I will pass on the insurance. I'm taking a chance. Yeah, you're definitely taking a chance. Nothing's guaranteed. I mean, that's, I take reasonable risk. And that's why I don't walk in the street, because people in society nowadays are too dumb and too distracted. You can't walk. I used to ride road bikes. Brad, welcome aboard, sir. Have you gotten the Air 2S from epicdroneshow.com yet? But yeah, that's why I walk on sidewalks and abandoned parking lots is, I don't trust anyone. People have lost their minds, man. Used to ride a bicycle on the street. You beat me to the Air 2S. That's cool. Do you like the Air 2S? But say I'm walking through grass right now. I mean, there's cars close by, but I mean, you definitely, I know people that still ride road bikes. I used to love that, but now you can't. You can't do it because too many people are distracted driving around. If they're not distracted on their phone, they're drunk, or they're just stupid. I mean, I don't know. So reasonable risk. For me, an unreasonable risk is walking in the street. An even more unreasonable risk is riding a bicycle in the street. Abandoned parking lots, man. That's what it's all about. So, Brad has not flown his Air 2S yet. Bummer. Jim has crashed one drone in 5 years. I've crashed one as well. I crashed I'd have to look back. I've got the video on my channel. I think it was the Phantom 2 Vision Plus. I crashed it into a tree at the lake, and I found the drone, never found the battery. I mean, it was, but that was piloting error. I can't blame the drone. It was my fault, so I take the blame, and that's the only drone I've ever crashed. Ooh, all right, dudes. Yeah, party. Yes, Cal. Welcome aboard, sir. Philippe says, 2 years ago, I lost my Mavic 2 Pro in Italy on Capri Island. Oh, man. But I made a stupid mistake to use the drone on the boat. Big mistake if you don't have... Yeah, dude. Flying a drone on a boat, if you've never done it, is a stupid mistake. Now, I do it all the time because I'm Captain Irish guy. I've got good seamanship. So, I do that. But, Yeah, I would not recommend flying the drone over water, especially launching and or landing a drone from a boat, unless you've got a lot of experience. But the good part about that, Philippe, is that you were in Italy, so who cares? It would have been a cool video had the drone not crash. Budget trails. I crash them weekly. LOL freestyle FPV setup. You go, bro. That's cool, man. That is cool. Yeah. So I know we're all excited about this DJI Air 2S. I know a lot of us are still slipping up and calling it the DJI Mavic Air 2S. Mavic no more, man. It's just Air 2S. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Aha! Let's see what we got here. Awesome, Dar. I just bought my Air 2S today. Nice. Philippe got the video on my mini iPad from Italy until the drone crashed in the ocean. So crazy. Ugh. Yeah, it is, man. I bet somebody found that drone. It probably didn't work. Because it was in the water. What if they found it and they saw you in the video clip, if you got on the video, and they reached out to you and said, hey, man, I found your drone in Capri, Italy, and they sent you the card. Wouldn't that be cool? That's happened to a lot of people with GoPros, because they've like vloggers and stuff, they're talking about their channel on YouTube and this, that, and the other, and then they lose their GoPro. But people find it, and that's how people find them, is because they reference their YouTube channel or whatever. And Philippe says, but you know why? I bought another one a couple weeks after. There you go, man. But remind everyone, this is just the first of many Mavic Air 2. I said Mavic. This is just the first of many DJI Air 2S discussions, because as soon as my Air 2S arrives, man, we're going to put it through its paces, and it's going to be an exciting journey for all of us. Kyle says, how much walking you doing there, Broseph? I got a 5K in this morning. You got a 5K in this morning. Oh, cool. 5K, man, you're in better shape than I am. Fatso right here, man, he's only walked 3.02 miles so far. I burned an estimated 378 calories, but I'm going to consume an estimated 1,200 calories because I'm eating Mexican dinner, cheese dip, burritos. Jim, signing off, away for another Jack Daniels. Have a good Jack, Jim, and have a good Jack, Jim. And always good to have you, Jack, Jim. Thank you. Have a good evening. Philippe says, mine, Air 2S, coming on Monday. Very cool. Kyle says, stay close to a toilet. Always do, man. Yep. Yeah, Mexican will wear you out. But it's good food. I love cheese dip. I love spicy peppers. I like everything, man. Margaritas, but 100% agave tequila only. I'm too old, and I'm too sophisticated for that cheap tequila that's not 100% agave. So with that being said, y'all, we have been on this live show for 59 minutes. Kyle says, delicious food, you just never know what's going to hit. No doubt, man. Stay close to that toilet. Yeah, Fatso right here, man. Fatso has burned some calories. 386 calories. 3.09 miles. Yes, Fatso's going to lose weight. Let's see. Philippe says, Mexico is a good spot for taking your drone. Beautiful countryside. Philippe, have a great night, sir. You too. Everyone, Kyle, Jim's gone. Kyle, Philippe, Jake. You don't be missing one. Brad. Who's it? Lita? Lita was here? Yeah, Lita was here. Everybody, thanks for the great show. And if you haven't subscribed already, which I know y'all have. Oh, budget trails. Don't forget budget trails, man. When do I get the Air 2? Well, I was optimistic that I was going to get the Air 2 today. and it wasn't because of epicdroneshow.com. That's where I order all my drones. Encourage y'all to do the same, but it's the delivery companies. Delivery companies are overwhelmed, man. It's just hard to get anything in a predictable amount of time. So, oh yes, Philippe, waiting on yours as well, sir. So hopefully my Air 2S will be here. I'm hoping Monday, but as soon as it's here, man, I'll be taking it out of the box. Gonna be doing the field test. It's gonna be fun. So, with that being said, thanks everyone for tuning in. I burned an acceptable amount of calories. And Kyle's cheerio to you too. Cheerio. See y'all later.